Hello, adorable charms. You're most welcome to Everything Literature, where you get to learn about everything concerning drama, prose, the most inspiring poetry. Take a seat and enjoy the class.
While trying to make a source of words, do not forget to add the spice called figures of speech. Once again, you're most welcome to Everything Literature, and our focus for today's class will be on figures of speech, specifically based on association. Objective for today's class will be recap on figures of speech, figures based on association, hypallage or transferred epithet, metonymy, synecdoche, then the conclusion. Ride with me. Now, previous classes we've already established the meaning and the usefulness of figures of speech, but once again we need to revisit that. Figures of speech are words or phrases that leaves the ordinary or literal meaning in order to produce a greater effect. The word figure is derived from the Latin word figura, which means something remarkable. Usefulness of figures of speech. We use figures of speech in our expressions to add deeper meaning and interest to words, and to also awaken imaginations. As devices used in writing, well, you will use that for the sake of emphasis, clarity, rhythm, velty, peculiarity, style, and so on. Figures of speech are actually divided into two major groups. We have the trope and we have the scheme. Trope is a figure of speech in which the use of a word or a phrase changes the meaning of a sentence. The word trope is derived from the Greek word tropos, meaning turn, that is, turning the meaning of a sentence to another by the use of a word. Scheme comes from the Greek word schema, meaning form or shape. Scheme refers to a change in the usual order of words for the sake of rhetorical effect. Scheme deals with the arrangement of words based on order, letters, syntax, and sounds, whereas trope deals with modifying the meaning of a word. So if we take a look at our last class, which happens to be figures of speech based on sound, some of what we treated falls into the category of scheme because it has to do with arrangement of sounds, maybe based on the vowel sounds as we have in assonance, or based on the consonant sounds as we have in alliteration and consonants and the likes. So while trope deals with modifying the meaning of a word, scheme deals with the arrangement of words. We said we will not be working with the grouping of figures of speech based on trope and scheme yet. We would work with the classifications of figures of speech, and we have 7 classifications. So far we've discussed figures based on similarity or agreement, where we have simile and metaphor, figures based on sound. That was what we discussed in our last class: onomatopoeia, alliteration, consonants, assonance, paronomasia, or what we call pun. And today's class, which will be focused on association, we have hypallage, metonymy, and synecdoche. Figures based on association. This has to do with relating a thing or something to another or for another by using either a part, an attribute, or an adjective. And specifically, we'll be taking a look at these 3. Hypallage, which means transferred epithet. Epithet simply means adjective, so it simply means transferred adjective. Okay, that's what we mean by hypallage. The next is metonymy. Metonymy has to do with using characteristics or attributes, not parts, take note of that, of A to relate to or represent A. So when we want to represent A, or when we want to relate A, or when we want to talk about A, we use the characteristics or attributes of A to portray it. Synecdoche, which is the third one we're going to discuss, has to do with using a part for a whole or a whole for a part. What is hypallage or transferred epithet? Hypallage. The word hypallage comes from the Greek hypallagia, meaning interchange or exchange. That is a transference of epithet, which means adjective. It is a literary device by which a qualifying adjective belonging to one word is transferred to another word, usually transferred from a person to a thing in the same sentence. Now, it's not in all cases that it has to do with transference of an adjective belonging to a person to a thing, but that's like the common one. Okay, so let's have a breakdown of it so that we can understand what we mean by transferred epithets, that is, transferred adjective. The prisoner was placed in the condemned cell. In the example above, we transfer the epithet, that is the adjective condemned, from the prisoner, who is actually the one condemned, to the cell where he is placed. Okay, so instead of saying the condemned prisoner was placed in the cell, we have it as the prisoner was placed in the condemned cell. So we already transferred the adjective belonging to prisoner to describing cell. The smell has brought the well-known breeze. Okay, so ordinarily breezes are well-known. A smell can be well-known. And so we already transferred the adjective well-known from smell to breeze. So ordinarily, without all the shifting, the sentence would be breeze have brought the well-known smell. Something like that. So more examples of hypallage or transferred epithet we have. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, of which in the normal sense of it, to waste a mind is a terrible thing. Darksome wandering by the solitary night. It should be solitary wandering by the darksome night. So we have it that we've already exchanged. We've transferred the adjective meant for wandering to night, and that's meant for night to wandering, because wandering cannot be darksome and night cannot be solitary. A night can be more darksome and wandering can be solitary. Okay. The man is engaged to a dishonest calling. And also we have he lays all night on a sleepless pillow. He is actually the one who is sleepless, not the pillow. What is metonymy? Metonymy refers to the use of a concept related to a thing to represent that thing. That is, using characteristics or attributes, not parts. Take note of this, please. The use of characteristics or attributes of a concept to relate to or represent the concept itself. Now let's take a look at some examples. The pen is mightier than the sword. Here we have it that the pen is something related to a writer and sword is related to a fighter. Okay, so we're using something related to a writer to represent the writer, which is pen. We're using something related to a fighter to represent the fighter, which is, in this case, sword. From the cradle to the grave. So something related to childhood is cradle, and something related to death is grave. I've never read Milton. Okay, here it refers to the works of Milton. The press has made my life hell. Press here relates to journalist. Today, we will be performing Shakespeare. So here, Shakespeare is referring to a play of Shakespeare. To fully understand metonymy, metonymy is usually realized through the following ways. The symbol of the thing for the thing symbolized. For instance, he was raised to the bench. Bench here refers to the position of a judge. He ascended the throne. Throne here symbolizes sovereignty. Okay. The second is the instrument or organ for the agent. The press is called the fourth estate. Press here is used as a metonymy for media. The pen is mightier than the sword. Pen here is used as metonymy for the writer and sword as metonymy for fighter. The cause for the effect or the effect for the cause. He was basking in the sun. Sun here has to do with sunshine. Swiftly flies the feathered death. So feathered here refers to arrow. The container for the things contained. He drank the fatal cup. Fatal cup here has to do with metonymy for the content of the cup. The town rose in a revolution. The town there is used as metonymy for the people of the town. The creator for his work. Here we have Baruch elements are found in Milton. Milton here is used as metonymy for Milton's work. The place of production for the product. All Arabia breathe from yonder box. All Arabia here refers to perfumes from Arabia. So breathe from yonder box. What is Synecdoche? Synecdoche is the understanding of one thing by means of another. Here, a part is used to represent the whole, or the whole is used to designate the part. In this instance, it means that we. So, taking a look at some examples. Examples here we have all eyes were on her, all hands at work. So, eyes happens to be part of the body, okay, part of human being. So when we say all eyes were on her, it simply means everybody was looking at her. All hands at work, that is, everybody happens to be at work. Now take a look at it. She loves her new wheels. Wheel as a part of a car is used to represent the car. So this is Synecdoche, using a part of something to represent the whole of it. Okay, and Synecdoche can be achieved by different forms. The first has to do with a part for the whole, where we have all hands, that is, all workers must be on deck. All hands must be on deck, actually. I have about 5 mouths to feed, meaning 5 persons. And we have the whole for a part. I love the fact that you put your brain to work. Brain here has to do with intelligence. The species for the genius. Silver and gold have I none. Silver and gold here actually uses Synecdoche for bridges. Man must earn his bread by the sweat of his brow. So bread here has to do with food. Then we have the one where we use individual. We have the one where we use individual for the class. Is the Methuselah of the village. Methuselah here has to do with old man. It's a Synecdoche for old man. Is the Newton of this country. Newton here is used as Synecdoche. Now, in this sense, we can say Synecdoche is being used as antonomasia. Antonomasia is another part of speech entirely, but this often it's used when a name is used to represent like the part of something. Now, the material for the things made. The prisoner was bound in irons, that is, the iron fetters. Okay, how come God is so mindful of this clay? Clay there is actually part of the materials we use in making man, but it's used to represent man in this instance. The abstract for the concrete. There is the mixture of the tiger and the ape in the character of a villain. Now, the tiger and the ape here has to do with the tigerly and apish instincts of the villain. I see lily on the brow. So here lily has to do with pale whiteness. Then the concrete for the abstract. There is a good deal of the fox in his character. So the fox here has to do with the concrete form for the abstract. The abstract nature of it is the canny attitude of a person in a person's character. And with this, we've come towards the end of the class. And to discuss, we've been able to discuss figures of speech based on association. And figures of speech based on association has to do with how one word can relate or be related to another or for another. And specifically, we discussed on hypallage, metonymy, and Synecdoche. Hypallage is a literal device by which a qualifying adjective belonging to one word is transferred to another word. Usually, this transference can do with transfer from a person to a thing, but it will be within the same sentence. Metonymy refers to the use of a concept related to a thing to represent the thing. Okay, and Synecdoche means when a part is used to represent the whole, or the whole is used to represent a part. Okay, so if you've learned one or two things in today's video, do well to like the video. If you've not yet subscribed, do well to hit the subscription button. And I would really love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. See you in the next class. Thank you and bye for now.